That was the mother.
Welcome to Sex Talk with my mom. I'm Cam Poter.
And I'm KarenLee Poter, and if that didn't wake you up, what will?
This is my mother. She's a self-proclaimed sex expert and New Year's aficionado.
Yes, decked out to the max.
We are currently, what you can't see, listeners, is that my mother is wearing a tiara right now and saying Happy New Year and blowing in one of these, frilly things, whatever the fuck those are called.
Blowers.
Blowers.
And my son is a self-proclaimed stand-up comic, mime and clown, and his name is Cam Poter.
And together we're trying to tackle this issue about, sex is in a very weird spot right now.
Yes, more so than ever.
Politically, socially, emotionally,
in the workplace,
in America, in the world. So we're having these conversations to try to figure it out.
In the White House.
There we go. And so it's New Year's. Mother, do you have any resolutions you'd like to share with us?
I have several resolutions.
Oh, Jesus.
Most of which I can't share. I'm just kidding.
We did come up with one resolution that applied to all of us. Or by all of us, meaning me and you, that affects our listeners. No, one of them is to keep in touch with our listeners much better.
Yes, I think that's a very good call.
And so, with that in mind, I would like to wish you all a very happy New Year, and respond to Jesus Christ. Respond to some of the wonderful messages we've been receiving.
Yeah, our messages are pretty much hilarious.
So maybe we can start with this one. It's a text that we got from someone that says, "How about a hot pic, Karen?"
And now, this is not the first question that we've gotten regarding me sending out hot pictures.
No, we often get requests for hot pics, but this is the first one I've responded to personally.
And this is so freaking hilarious because you were in a little goofy mood last night when you took a gander at that, didn't you?
Well, I just sent him a picture of my ingrown hair on my upper thigh.
Which looks so disgusting. And I hope he didn't think it was my upper thigh.
No, I think he said, ha 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 ha, perfect. Well, I mean, he might be thinking you sent him this, but I have hair on this thigh.
Is that your ass? What is that?
I have a little ass in this picture.
Oh, God. I guess if somebody wanted to donate some serious money, we could send him that.
I mean, you don't even need to donate that much, or at all. I would send you this picture if you'd like. It's probably not going to do any good for you, though.
What do you mean?
This is not a big turnout. I can't imagine a fetish that's going to want this.
Yeah.
I can think of so many fetishes. I've never an ingrown hair, an inflamed, infected, red, pus-filled, ingrown hair on my upper thigh.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
There are people that are very into any kind of weirdness. Like someone the other day asked me if he was normal because he has a fetish for armpits.
That's not that weird. I mean, that
turns him on more than anything.
Okay, but an infection in the epidermis of your body?
If any of your listeners out there have that fetish, please let us know. And for maybe just to be a nice guy, Cam this year will send out free pics of his inflamed, disgusting, gross, ingrown hair.
That's absolutely correct. Also, we've been getting a lot of ratings and reviews in the iTunes store. Thank you so much for doing that. That helps us out a ton.
Yes, that's awesome.
And we've also been getting wonderful emails at our sextalkpodcast@gmail.com and voicemails on our hotline 323-472-4237.
And we've gotten 2 patrons now.
And 2 patrons. So
we really appreciate those 2 patrons, and I'd like to give a shout out to both of them.
Let's give a shout out to Andrew. And the other one is a very long-standing patron.
Yeah, she's the first and only for a long time.
We have given her pretty much nothing besides these episodes.
It's nice to know that that's all we give them, because then obviously people are going to be coming in droves.
Well, that's changing this upcoming year. In fact, I'm thinking that we released the video that we created, the very funny video that we're trying to shop around as a little pilot sample.
Well, let's explain that too. That's one of my
That's one of your goals?
My main goal this year
is to make what?
Is to release a web series with you.
Oh.
Based on...
Holy fuck, Mom, are you aware we got a third patron?
Oh my God, as we speak, we just got the 3rd patron.
We got a 3rd patron!
Holy cow, thank you! This could not come at a better time since we're trying to set up a new studio.
Wow. Look at that!
Oh my God.
Ginny, of course. Ginny is our third...
Wait.
Okay.
90% of our patrons are your friends.
Okay, Andrew is someone I've developed a relationship with over the podcast, so I didn't know him and
when you
before
say
this.
develop a relationship, was it sexual or what?
No, we've texted back and forth and talked. I think at one point he came on the podcast.
And you've got another
And
friend.
Mackenzie, our very long time
clown friend.
No, Mackenzie's not a clown friend.
Clown.
She's our first and only. That was the Patreon that we hadn't given anything to.
Okay.
And then Ginny, of course, my friend. I couldn't believe she is a friend of mine. Who helped me a ton in this New York stand-up scene when I was out there, and she's supporting the show.
So if these three wonderful people can support us at literally at $1 an episode, is it $3? She donated $3. Wow. Okay.
You're not supposed to share how much these people are donating.
All right. Well, whatever it is, it's not going to break anybody's bank. Believe me, you guys have wasted money much more frivolously.
Okay, this was not meant to be a fucking...
But anyway, Patreon is a way that you can support us and we can have more of an intimate discussion with you. I really have a fondness in my heart for any of the patrons.
And we'll be releasing content that you can only see on our Patreon feed, like this video.
Like the first look at of our web series. It's a pilot, it's hilarious.
All right.
And it's probably going to be at the Sundance Film Festival soon.
Great enthusiasm, mother. All right, I want to get back on track. I brought up all those things that we're very grateful for to say that we also have been getting wonderful voicemails. Particularly, I'll play one. How about that?
I'd like to hear it.
All right, let's do it.
Hey, my name is Judd. Cam, I like you guys' show. It's a great new podcast. Just found it a couple weeks ago. As far as premature ejaculation, someone told me that you don't masturbate in girls' pussy. So I kind of never thought about that.
Can you put that
what really helped me is slowing down in the beginning and enjoying the touch. Use your hands to touch your body and focus on her. You gotta stop thinking about yourself because, like I said, you're not masturbating in the pussy. You're pleasing her. I hope you guys enjoy this advice. Take care.
Okay, I cannot handle it. What was that about? You someone told me that you don't masturbate in a girl's pussy.
It's an unusual comment. I've never really thought of myself masturbating in a woman's pussy.
I don't think I've ever had a guy masturbate in my pussy.
Here's what I'll say. First of all, Joe.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for this voicemail. While I didn't ask for any, I didn't solicit any advice. This is and as of now, my premature ejaculation is pretty much under control.
Yeah.
Although I have not been having a lot of sex recently to know whether it is under control. But anyway, regardless, this is all. I love that you left us a voicemail. even though he was
rather than getting unsolicited sex advice
and assuming
on things that you're kind of dealing with and have already dealt with.
That's correct. But I have not thought of myself as masturbating in someone's pussy. And now this is an interesting...
I've been dwelling on that for like the last 24 hours of what that means. I think it means like just don't go banging into the vagina.
He's basically saying think of it as an intimate experience with another person and focus on pleasing her as opposed to just all of the sex, the pleasure and arousal that you're experiencing.
Does he feel like you're like a selfish lover?
Well, he did kind of suggest that when he said, stop focusing on yourself.
Yeah, I think you're that kind of guy.
Well,
he knows you. He knows you well.
Joe and I have had a lot of sex together. But no, but I was being sarcastic, but also I really do appreciate the voicemail, even if so it is conflicting. But anyway,
Oh my God, I'm about to have a huge laughing attack. I mean, who asked Joe to give you sex advice?
I don't know why Joe decided to give me sex advice, but I'm happy regardless.
You're happy because you got the sex
Usually the voicemail box is for people interested in receiving sex advice that we can then bring to the channel.
Right.
Not necessarily, but I feel like a lot of people do feel the need to give me sex advice. This is not the first time at all. We often get messages that are directed, if they're directed towards me, if they're directed towards you, they're asking for body shots or things like this. If they're directed for me, it's here's how you stop being a shit lover. Stop complaining.
So somewhere in our podcast episodes, we are portraying you as selfish, shitty lover.
Yeah, I don't know how the listeners
How is
would
that
get
happening?
that. I have no idea how they got that in their minds.
Especially when you haven't really been involved in a relationship in a long time.
Thank you.
Well, I guess it means maybe they're talking about the one-night stand.
Previous episodes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, all right, moving on. Regardless, any form of contact with us is so exciting.
Well,
including, I mean, this is perhaps the most exciting form of contact, the one that we're about to go into.
yeah, this is one of those that I wish it wasn't a podcast because this is a visual.
So a while ago, I don't know if you guys remember, we got an email from someone, a male, who said, "My wife, 51, says you're her go-to fantasy these days. She says you remind her of a guy from college who is evidently quite the repeat performer."
She's not talking about me, by the way, right?
Nope, the subject line is Cam.
Okay, I guess that's you.
That is directed towards me, and it reminds her of a guy from college who was evidently quite the repeat performer is definitely an allusion, a reference to my premature ejaculation again. So
but in a positive way.
she was excited that I get back up and roused.
Yeah.
And he writes, "If you ever want to help us plan out some cock/hot wife fantasies, let us know." And then he attached a picture of his naked wife.
Who's got giganto boobs from that angle.
Big boobs.
And literally full bush, just so you know.
You got a problem with full bush?
I'm just looking and like...
You think that's full bush?
Wait,
I don't think that.
it's
No,
kinda
that's
like,
a groom bush.
It's,
That's a groom bush.
it's a groom bush.
That's a well-groomed bush.
Well, whatever. Cam, she has you in her fantasies.
I'm in the fantasies. Okay, so that was in August. So we mentioned it, we talked about it, and then out of nowhere, we got a nice follow-up message.
Oh.
Mom, can you it's like you fucking jump to the punchline every goddamn time something comes
I
up.
don't know, I just was like shocked. I'm like, whoa, nipple.
Have you read this email before?
I saw the email, I didn't see the picture associated with it. Okay, go on.
Oh my lord. So basically, this was the subject line said she wanted you to have this. And he said, "My wife says she and the guy you remind her of used to make a game out of seeing how fast she could make him come." Again, another allusion, a reference to my quick ability to come.
In a positive way.
In a positive way, nonetheless. Usually she'd put it in her mouth and he'd come almost immediately. She said she would swallow and keep sucking, and most of the time he'd be rock hard again in no time.
Okay.
And then another picture attached of just one of the left nipple.
That's what I was talking about.
It's just the left.
Actually, yeah, it's her left, because it looks like it's, yeah.
And at first I was like, is this guy catfishing me? And I did a lot of rechecking. I was doing a side-by-side comparison of the original cuck hot wife fantasy image and this, which was with the full bush in there.
Is it the same nipple?
It's the same one. Same one. So he's a real person. So as I'm describing this, I get this at lunch, so I talk about it with my friend, and my friend and I discuss the implications of this email and whether I should actually go through with this.
Wait,
now he's being persistent.
Are you considering this?
So I was considering it.
Really? Are you
Well,
turned on by that nipple? Or about that she's going to suck the cum out of you and then you can go again?
It was exciting to know that someone was interested in me sexually, but I don't know if the actual fantasy. We realized he was fantasizing about me coming quickly with his wife. So it was kind of like a backhanded compliment.
No, I don't know. Maybe he's older, so maybe it takes him a really long time.
Okay.
Or maybe they are swingers, and this is something that they do often.
Well, we decided that I should respond, "Are you in California?" And then they responded, "No, you want her to take that guy's V card, don't you?" That was a reference to our last episode where we tried to get the Craigslist. Yeah, see?
Are you thinking
we tried
maybe we should?
Well, so I followed up with it. So hold on. Before we continue on, now we get two breasts in this picture.
This is a picture of her naked in a car, it looks like.
You think this is a car? I think that this is an upholstered. We started analyzing this as well.
Oh,
this is an upholstered chair.
Now, you never see her face, which is kind of disturbing because why is he not showing her face?
I'm not sure.
Maybe it's a butterface.
But again, we did the side-by-side analysis. These these two breasts do belong to the same bosom.
I'm the same bosom. What does that mean?
There's two pictures are of the same
All right,
breasts.
so the body is the same.
Yeah, I'm not getting catfish, or he's fine. Who knows? Anyway, then there's a follow-up message that he sends.
Is this like going to your private email?
No, this is our shared account.
Oh, I missed all of these.
Yeah, I can't believe you missed all this.
I only saw the one nipple and that was it.
Okay, well, so then I did not respond to this. Once he said he's not in California, I said, all right, game is over. And then he said, for what it's worth, you guys present a unique dynamic. I'm thinking about full swap or group play possibilities. Then I remember you're not a couple.
Who is he talking about? Me and you?
Yes.
Oh, that would be freaking weird.
So he's thinking of
me?
of the two of us swinging with him and his wife. Yeah.
That would be the weirdest, most uncomfortable, disgusting thing I've ever heard.
I completely agree. But then
we're on the same page.
It was followed up with another visual.
Picture.
This time.
Ew! Oh God, that happened. No.
You're not supposed to say ew.
I'm sorry. Anytime I see a dick pic, my initial reaction is always ew.
So now it's with the wife, with his penis popping out of nowhere. It's interesting how they did the framing of this, because you see her front and then just a little penis,
well, okay,
not
so
a little
she's
penis, but it's
sitting
a
on
normal
it.
penis popping out of nowhere.
I don't think you'd appreciate you saying little penis.
I didn't mean little
actually
penis.
It's not little based on the angle here, and you can see it's not little.
I wasn't getting that into that. Anyway,
but
it's again the same body, so now it's definitely the same person, so same couple. So anyway, I wanted to, I think that this conversation needed to wrap up, so I responded, "Thanks for all the support, David." Oh, I guess I can include his name. Why not? My mom and I are not a couple, but I appreciate the sentiment. Haha, it would have been nice if someone offered to take his V card. Happy holidays. So that was another listener interaction.
Wow.
That made me feel all sorts of emotions.
Like?
Well, at first arousal, and then confusion, and then repulsion. It was a full spectrum.
I'm assuming the repulsion was when it was
when you suggested that we fuck with them.
Thing.
Yeah,
no, that's not going to happen. But I don't know why the dick pics just freak me out, especially when I guess because this one wasn't even attached to a body; it was just like a freestanding dick.
A freestanding dick.
Well, it's something about whenever I see a freestanding dick.
A freestanding dick sounds like a statue of some sort.
It's like Petcock Willie. All right, let's move on to other important resolutions.
Well, so I have some questions to reflect on this past year.
Oh,
do you want to jump into that?
I do. Yes, because I too have questions.
Specifically related to sex and sex talk with my mom, the podcast. So I'll ask you questions.
Yeah.
You can ask me questions.
Yeah.
Let's play this little game, huh?
Okay, let's play it.
All right. My first question, how about you ask me your first question?
Well, I was going to ask which of the podcast episodes was your favorite?
Oh, wow.
2017.
I think it was actually the last one we did.
No way, the 31-year-old virgin?
Yeah, trying to get the guy laid, the 30-year-old virgin laid. I can't believe you're still mistaking him for 31 years. He was 30 years old the whole time.
I thought he was 29 at first.
But by the time we acknowledged his question, he turned 30. So that was my favorite episode. I thought that it was fun to do. It was exciting to do. We tried to solicit sex on Craigslist, and we really went on an emotional roller coaster. If you haven't listened to that episode, you should check it out.
Oh yeah, it was so funny that really, I just visualize you in the other room, like going, oh my god.
When the emails started coming in.
I thought that you had won the lottery, even though you don't play it.
All right, you're going to spoil the whole fucking
Okay,
thing.
anyway, so we are going to now look into base a web series on that. Okay, but I can see why that would be one of your faves, because it was so hilarious. Are you blowing?
No, I'm not. I was about to blow, and then I thought, did someone use this before?
No, that one's clean, and this one is mine.
Has this been blown into before?
No, it has not. Okay, that means that we're done with the...
done with that question. What about you, Mother?
Okay, so my favorite episode, looking back, because there's some of them that I listened to, and I want to hear them again and again, and there was two. One was the man whore episode, because he's so outlandish. It's just he just makes me laugh. Okay, when he starts talking about bukkake as if you're going out to dinner, it just makes me laugh.
Okay.
So that was one of them. And the second episode that I really enjoyed the most was your two friends, when we interviewed them. The one that was in the religious life.
Too horny for religious life.
And how he had sex with the prostitutes and
just for our listeners' reference, if you're interested in looking back at these episodes, the Too Horny for Religious Life, the one that she's talking about, is episode 101, and the one about Craigslist Bukkake is episode 98.
Yeah.
Very
well, I mean, although I can probably pick apart and find, more favorites than that, it's just those two stood out as making me laugh more. So, I mean, they weren't necessarily the best.
Yeah.
But were the ones that make me laugh, and I like to laugh.
All right, you like to laugh.
I love to laugh.
I think it's all right. Time for the next question.
Next question.
In what ways have you grown personally, and in what ways have you grown sexually? From 2017.
You're asking me for that. So whenever someone asks about sex, I must answer. So personally, how have I grown? It's an interesting year because I've been reading a lot of Esther Perel stuff about
Esther Perel, the love of my life.
The love of your life, who you've never met, but she writes books such as The State of Affairs and Mating in Captivity, and she's
a sexologist, sex therapist,
and
couples therapist,
and she does a lot of podcasts and things like that we listen to, and I really think that she has opened my eyes to. And I'm also reading a book called Sex at Dawn.
This is how you've grown?
So I've grown personally and professionally by being much more open-minded. We interviewed a guy named Buddha also who talked a lot about being able to separate the sex and the love. And I think I'm not there where I want to do that, but I'm thinking I'm just so much more open-minded about it.
So you've become... You become less judgmental, less critical, more open-minded.
Totally.
With regard to personal life and sex life.
That sums it up in a nutshell, yes.
It's lovely.
And you? What was the reason that you needed to blow the horn?
That's when we're changing who was answering the question.
Okay.
No, I asked you this question. I didn't really think about it. How have I grown personally? I took a lot of risks, which was actually my New Year's resolution for 2017. Take a lot of risks. Yeah, I took a lot of risks this past year.
Yeah.
Going to New York on a whim and living there for the summer. I explored sexually over there a little bit, as you guys have heard. Yeah, and with a one-night stand situation.
Oh yeah, you didn't do any Greek dancing, but yes.
I did not get to the play party after all that, but I almost got to a play party. I went to Burning Man.
That was pretty adventuresome.
I was in clown school the first quarter of the year. I went to Asia.
I forgot you went to Asia.
Yeah, there was a lot of risk taking.
I need to take more risks next year. Mine was so boring compared to yours.
It was wild. I will say my bank account really took a plunder because of all this, but a plunder.
A plunder. Is there a word, plunder?
All right, question for you, Mother. Do you feel hotter or uglier going into 2018?
Oh, you stole that from Philip DeFranco.
I did.
I'm not feeling that much hotter going into 2018. I think I got to work on some of my exercise routines and things like that.
Really?
Yeah, as you get older, especially, approaching the upper 50s, you're not feeling as hot as you were when you were approaching the 40s or...
Okay, but going into 2017 versus 2018, do you think that there's a change at all? You have a different hairdresser. Do you have a different hairdresser?
I have the same hairdresser. I haven't really changed much. Same. Just fighting gravity every day. How about you? You feeling hotter these days?
I do. What you guys can't see right now is that I have a goatee. This is the first time I've ever had a goatee, and I mainly shaved it as a joke because I thought it made me look like an Italian art thief named Peppino. Which is also Spanish and Italian for cucumber. Anyway,
thank you for that exciting bit of trivia.
I currently don't feel any more attractive than I did in 2017, though I just realized. Don't men peak at 28 or
now that's sexual peak, not looks peak.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Women peak much later sexually, like in their late 30s.
Oh, really?
Early 40s, yeah. That's why the Cougar concept works so well.
Wait, so I hit my sexual peak?
You're going all downhill from here, buddy.
Oh! Maybe that could be good, actually. That might make it like less intense for me. As a result,
You
and
never
give me
know.
much more control.
Yeah, there you go.
Do I feel more I feel more confident going into 2018 than I did in 2017.
That's awesome, and confidence makes you feel better about yourself, and it just makes you feel like you are getting better.
Bingo. All right, Proxima. Next, your turn.
What have you learned over the last year?
What, either one thing that I've learned?
Yeah.
I've learned that I need to sell my car.
Okay. Wow. That's an
Apropos
exciting
learning.
Scholarly, actually.
Yep, I have to sell it before the transmission blows. So what have you learned?
Well, I think I've learned that when you enter, a business relationship like we have, that we're going to be going through ups and downs, and sometimes you want to quit, and sometimes you are so excited that you can't wait to do another episode, and I just have to kind of like ride with it and not get heavily invested in one emotion or the other.
You are always wanting to do this.
No, I'm talking about you.
I know, for our listeners, that is me and my capricious behavior.
Capricious?
Yeah, back and forth, like Capricorn. Yeah.
Oh, capricious.
Yeah.
He's teaching me things.
Yeah.
Yes, he vacillates a little bit.
Especially, I think this past year I was wondering, I want to be an actor. What am I doing talking about sex with my mom all the goddamn time? So
Who doesn't?
That really kind of threw me for a loop a few times.
But I think something that really changed things is the whole opening up about the sexual harassment issues. It changed a lot of the way people talk about sex, and this is an opportunity for us to talk about sex.
That is not what kept me
in
in
a positive
this.
way. No, I'm talking about, I think, why it's kept me in it a little more so than
yeah, because now it's
It's
especially
even more
interesting
meaningful
time.
now,
Yeah. All right.
So anyway, I think, yeah.
Good.
Good.
My final question for you is, do you have any sex-related goals for 2018? Things that you want to try or learn?
Oh, good question. I might be more open to trying some things, going to I'm thinking that I was going to go to Florida and go to a porn shoot.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, with Sarah J, if that offer's still on, Sarah. And maybe Deez and I will go to some of these clubs and observe. I don't know, maybe. I'm not 100% opposed to anything. I know I can convince him, in a blink of an eye, so. What about you?
I think my goal is to have sex.
Okay, lofty.
Lofty goals, 2018, have sex. There are some years that it doesn't happen, so let's hope that this one's not a drought.
Okay, you might get more of these.
No, to be
you might get David to send a few more of his nipple pictures, and you might change your tune.
No, to be honest, it's never usually like that the option is not there. Luckily, there have been options. The option to have sex if I really, really wanted it. Like if you go on Tinder, you could eventually get to sex, or you go to a bar late at night and everyone's hammered.
Yeah.
But it just I never want to have that type of sex. So for me to have sex, I would also suggest that I have intimate feelings for someone, and
So you want a relationship?
I do.
I think you said to me you wanted 2 relationships of 4 months each.
That would be very nice.
I think that was it.
But by saying that now, that who wants to sign up for that with me?
Oh, I think there'll be plenty of. Hey, all you listeners, if you're into a 4-month relationship with Cam, 1, possibly 2 times,
Yeah, you can renew.
you can renew.
Yeah, I say 4 month because I think that gives you enough time to actually get to know someone, and learn about yourself and get to know someone else.
But you can still get the exit card if you need to.
Yeah, it's not so painful when you guys break up. Hopefully, I don't know.
Hopefully it's painful.
No, hopefully it's not that painful. I don't know. It's just 4 seems like a good number.
Yeah, well, my trimester fit theory.
I
It's
know.
probably the first trimester.
Right.
Yeah.
By the end of the honeymoon phase,
The honeymoon phase, and then
you start seeing the cracks,
You
and
start
then
to
you
see the
decide.
foundation and red flags going up, and you're like, ooh, time to get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Or, hey, this is not so bad, I'll stick with it.
All right. I think that's.
We're at our End of the questions of the reflections of the day. No, we had other exciting surprises.
It was basically, we wanted to talk about our actual New Year's, if that's going to be at all interesting. I don't think it will be. And also, any resolutions you have for this upcoming year outside of just sex with my mom. Do you have any resolutions outside of that?
Oh yeah.
What?
I'm going for this web series. We are doing this.
How about no sugar?
Oh yeah, I'm reducing my sugar intake.
Why is that?
Because I heard another podcast with the scientologist, a scientist, and she said the best thing you could do.
This is Joe Rogan's podcast. What was her name? Who was that?
Rhonda Patrick. Yeah.
Yep.
Good one.
Yeah, look at that.
Anyway, Rhonda Patrick said if you can do one thing to raise your lifespan, raise your lifespan.
Yeah, it's called raising your lifespan.
Increasing your lifespan. It's to eliminate white sugar from your diet.
Look at that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Or maybe all sugar, but I think I concentrate on the white. So, I'm never like extremist about this kind of stuff because I think you have to be able to occasionally dip into the old chocolate cookie, chocolate fudge.
Has it happened yet?
No.
Wow.
I took one bite of a donut the other day and I spit it out.
Really?
Yeah.
Look at you.
I found that honestly, for the longer I stay away from all that sugar, the easier it is to avoid the cravings.
Yeah, totally.
What about you?
My main resolution is not to use any particular apps on my phone. So
like
no,
all social media.
No Facebook, no Twitter, no Instagram, no Snapchat, and no mail.
Email.
No email.
On your phone.
I look at the goddamn email app. This is the stand-up. Are you ready for the stand-up premise?
Yeah.
Stand-up joke?
No, I didn't.
I don't even do stand-up that much anymore. But if I were to go to my physical mailbox as much as I go to my email box, and then that's the premise, and now I have to come up with the punchline. And so one of the punchlines could possibly be,
you would lose like 10 pounds.
Right, or my Fitbit would be going off the charts.
You would go over 20,000 steps.
Or I would just look like an insane person.
It would be like all those little road runners.
I wouldn't even be able to have this conversation with you.
You'd be right now.
Times
oh, there he goes.
Nothing in there? Okay, back sitting. Anyway, but I feel withdrawal from not having these apps.
It is the most compulsively addicting thing there is.
It's unbelievable.
The first thing I do when I wake up is I'm fumbling around on the floor for where my phone fell. Because it was on my ear before I went to bed.
Oh my God, is that real?
Yeah, I never know where it is.
You sleep with it on your ear?
No, I mean, it was next to my face. And
really?
And I put it down somewhere and I can never find it. So
this is horrifying to me.
Yeah, and then
this is bad. Well, we're not glossing over that. You sleep with the phone next to you, then you have all the radiation and shit that's
all right. It's
the radar.
It's usually on the floor next to me.
The waves that are going to your brain.
The microwaves.
The microwave. Who knows what wave? The Bluetooth waves. There are a lot of waves.
It's a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah, you can't remember shit.
I can't remember shit disease. Okay, but anyway, so yeah, I'm so addicted to it. And the first thing I do is pick it up in the morning. I'm immediately checking like the emails, and then I thought, and then when I see myself doing that, I'm like, why aren't I sending out my emails really early in the morning? Because most likely most people are like me. Or I'm checking Instagram, or I'm checking. I'm off of Facebook, by the way, pretty much. But Instagram is like my thing.
Yeah, Instagram's nonstop with you.
Yeah.
But I had to cut that shit out, and the mail app is actually what I feel the most withdrawal.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why. What am I expecting?
You're getting
in the goddamn mail?
Another Groupon might come, and you might miss it.
What is that? A reference to that date that I had a long time ago?
Yes.
Come on.
Groupon. You got your.
It was a 4-course meal on Groupon. I needed to use it with someone, so I took it. I did it. Okay. Let's not relive this.
Okay. But anyway, yeah, you might miss out on some stupid ass sale from like
no, I'm not looking. No, I think I am looking for like a dream job opportunity.
I was going to say job offers.
Yeah.
They're going to come to you in your email.
Or like a sponsorship opportunity. Yeah.
Or maybe you're looking for that lady with the nipple to send you another picture. Actually, it's not even her sending the picture; it's her husband sending his wife's.
Isn't that bizarre?
Yeah.
It's wild.
It's kind of like a pimp. Maybe he's a pimp.
I don't think he's a pimp. Anyway, all right, guys, send us your New Year's resolutions.
And send us your wife's nipples.
We
Just
love
don't
it.
include an unsolicited dick in there.
We cannot wait to go into 2018 with all of you guys. Thank you very much for spreading the love. If you haven't, share this with a friend. Probably one of the best things you can do for us is to share this with a friend.
And also, write a review.
That's it. Thank you guys.
We love you. And let me tell you about the birds and the bees and the New Year's Eves. Goodbye.
So corny.
We love you. How long is it? 40 minutes? With the little intermission? Turn this up.
I think that we could cut out some of that. The questions.